Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question comes from one of our listeners. Hopefully she's listening. She submitted questions. Hopefully she's listening, though. Crystal Smith. And that question is Mac or PC? Cyrus, Mac or PC, sir?
Well, PC sucks. We all know that. No. PC for gaming, Mac for everything else.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So if the gaming was on par on the Mac side, would you just completely dump Windows, or?
You mean like if the game library was there
Yes,
and
like I mean,
performance and everything?
exactly. Like if it was like literally on par, like with what it is on a PC.
Absolutely. I would
Okay.
dump. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, because all the best stuff, all the best new functionality in Windows is all ripped off from the Macintosh. So.
Well, there you go. That other voice you're hearing is Lainey. Lainey, Mac or PC?
You know what? I'm gonna say Mac. I'm kind of new to the whole Mac world. I've used a PC for as long as I can remember, but I got a Mac with my new job and I really like it. So just super, super user friendly. I'm a fan. I think I'll stick with it for a while.
Good deal. Good deal. So yeah, for me, this is super easy. At least this point in my life. What's funny is a long time ago, when I was a different person, I used to be a hardcore like PC gamer, and like
He was
I
a
like
woman back
modded
then.
out my PC. I like overclocked everything in it. Like I had like a clear side panel on my computer and like LEDs and stuff in it. Like it was basically like hot rodding for PCs. And
That was when you were a different person. Like, oh yeah, you were Caitlin Stevens. Is that right?
yeah, that's exactly right. You ass. Anyway, the but yeah, so I started teaching, and I was like, I wanted to kind of learn some more of the Mac stuff, and whenever they switched over to the x86 processor, and I was like, well, and then, people were like, dude, you can install Windows on this now. I was like, okay, well, I guess I could get a Mac because I could install Windows. So if it doesn't work out, at least I can still run Windows stuff on it. And that's exactly what I did. I bought an iMac, I installed Windows on it, and I promptly never went back. Like I may have fired up that Windows install maybe a total of 10 times for various reasons, but other than that, I've never really looked back. I will say I like Windows 7. Windows 7 is it's a good operating system for what it is. Everyone talks bad about 8. I have not played with 10 that much. From what I've seen, it doesn't look too bad, but yeah, I'm perfectly happy in the Mac side of the world. So I mean, I wish more of the games like on Steam were on the Mac side, because otherwise I'm like, maybe I should install a Windows partition just for just like you said, pretty much just for gaming. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm a Mac guy. So
You know what's funny is like direct apples to apples stuff. I have that ability. I have a Mac Mini. I don't have like a real super powerful Mac, but it's
same here,
it's
yeah.
it's an i5. It's solid. I put 16 gigs of RAM in it. It's pretty nice. But the Mac, let me just give you an example of what the difference is. Like I have a capture card that I do videos for, all the stuff I do on YouTube. And I have the exact same card. It's an Elgato 2. It's an Elgato HD60. I have this thing on. I have one for the Mac and I have one in here for the PC, and I use them to record different things. Okay. And I won't go on forever about this, but if you record, like when I record video and I record it on the Mac, it records and it's ready to upload. Okay? Records, ready to upload. When I record on the PC, it records and then it has to process.
Oh,
Really?
man.
It has to process the whole video out and then it'll let me upload. So, just another example of, just small little things like that go a long way when you're trying to get a lot of things done at the same time.
Exactly. Yep.
And Mac just runs better. Like my another example would be my camera, my webcam. When I'm doing my webcam and I'm using the broadcasting software, sometimes it'll glitch out or have little errors or things like that, and I have to reboot it. I have to start it over. On the PC, on the Mac, no problems. Never had one problem. So it's just they're different systems, okay, and they're geared for different things. Now, yes, gaming is way better on the PC, way better.
Yeah.
But that's Apple's decision. They're the ones that created that monster. So not everything does the same things, and the Mac is great for what it does. So.
Well, alrighty then. So let's move on to tonight's big topic. This topic was actually the brainchild of Cyrus.
Oh my God! You made it. The way you said it, there's a brainchild of Cyrus. Like, I got together and put the team together. We all had to like put a lot of thought into this, and there was like a research and development project, and we had to get a budget. God! We did a whole bunch of testing in the field. There was a lot of field testing of some kind.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Poll people, and that's sometimes that's a good thing, but most of the time polling somebody is not good. But this being an election year. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway, so it was my brainchild, yes. I feel very, very attached to this topic.
Well, how did you come up with it?
I don't know. You said come up with a topic. So I sat around thinking for a little while.
Well, there you go.
What I thought about was, do you want to announce the topic before I talk about the topic, or...
I think it would be a good idea, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So we are recording this on Valentine's Day, and the topic he came up with, and what he sent us as a group, we were asking for a topic was Valentine's Day is a commercial holiday. So come up with some geeky commercial holidays, and what kind of traditions and what would go along with that. And my brain just immediately fired off. I was like, wow, this is a great topic. So I was, I didn't know if you if you had been thinking about it, or if you just kind of we were just like, well, I think that'd be fun. So.
Well, I didn't necessarily. They don't necessarily have to be commercial holidays. Just geek themed holidays. I was just thinking, yeah, Valentine's Day. A lot of people complain about it because they're like, hey, this is just a holiday to sell, greeting cards and chocolate and stuff like that. And that's probably true for, pretty much, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. It's for selling jewelry and chocolate and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I was just like, wouldn't it be fun to just come up with some ideas for your own thing out there or whatever?
Hell yeah.
So that's where we're at.
So
that's my brainchild. Sorry.
Well, there you go. So before we get too in depth with that, does anyone want to share any thoughts on the commercialization of this holiday or any other holidays? Because let me tell you. So a few days before, I went ahead and went to the grocery store. Now, so we're talking the Friday before the Friday before Valentine's. So we're literally talking not even 2 full days ahead, basically a day and a couple of hours before Valentine's. And I went to Walmart, and up in the front of the store, there had just lines and lines of chocolates and flowers and they basically have all their Valentine stuff up front. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And so I'm doing the grocery shopping, and I turn down the what's traditionally known as their seasonal aisle, and it's already full of Easter, and I'm just like,
Yep.
Are you freaking kidding me? Like I have no problem with the fact that these holidays. My biggest problem with the commercialization of holidays is not the fact that they've done it. I understand you're a business, you want to sell stuff, you want to tie in your product as much as possible. That's fine, whatever. You want to sell candies that are themed like the holiday, you want to sell whatever it is. I don't care. I don't care about that. My problem is, let's just get through the damn holiday before you start peddling your wares for the next one, especially when it's like. And you have to feel bad for Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving basically has been pushed aside. It's basically been pushed face down into the street, and Black Friday has surpassed it. Yeah. And then of course immediately with Black Friday,
there's nothing to market about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're selling turkeys, in which case they're like, hey, that's our year, but or that's our thing this year, but what so. Yeah, that's my only problem with the quote unquote the commercialization of holidays. You know, I
Yeah,
don't
there's
have
no
a
like
big
good
problem with it. Just
character.
maybe that would be an interesting show. Come up with a way to revolutionize Thanksgiving to actually make it a decent holiday.
I love Thanksgiving because you go home and you drink with all of like your friends from home, and then the next day is just full of hangover food.
Well, there you go.
What
It's awesome.
I think Thanksgiving has been deliberately ignored so that there'd be as much money available for Black Friday as possible.
And that
Hmm.
could be.
I
Well, and
think.
the roots of Thanksgiving in itself are kind of bullshit anyway, so to be fair.
But aren't a lot of the holidays that way anyway?
Yes.
Just
Christmas isn't even really Christmas.
yeah. But we won't get into that discussion. So that being said, so everyone has come up with several holidays, geek themed holidays that we're going to share, and you know we may workshop a few of them, you know, but we'll see how it goes. I've actually come up with 5 of them, and so I'm going to go ahead and start. I've actually got the most number, so I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start with what I consider to be my most kind of bland one, as it were, and that's going to be National Malware Day. Basically, it's a day. Now, for those of you who don't know, who might listen to the show and don't know, my day job is I'm the campus technologist at an elementary school. So, quote unquote, I'm the tech guy at the campus, and yeah. So, granted, my campus is like 99% Mac. Going back to our previous question, hey, I tied it in.
Yep.
So I don't have to do a lot of malware uninstalls and stuff. But like whenever I did work at campuses where there were a lot of Windows installs, it was a constant battle of, you know, not so much viruses. Viruses, you know, are still around, but they're not really that bad. You know, it's mostly the malware. So I thought, let's have a National Malware Day, and that's going to be the day that everybody specifically stops, take stock of what's on your computer, and uninstall this crap. To include those stupid toolbars that show up, programs, apps, the whole thing. I think we celebrate this day on October 1st, specifically because the date would be 1001. You know, there you go. Traditions for this holiday. I say everyone wears black, wears sunglasses, and we're going to quote the Matrix because we're going to be killing programs.
There it is.
God. Oh my God.
Like I said, that was kind of my weakest of the holidays that I came up with, but
That actually kind of leads into one I have.
really. So okay, we'll go ahead and start.
Here we go.
Okay, well, you talk about dressing up like the Matrix. I have one called Cosplay Day.
Okay, is that already called Halloween?
Well, hang on, I'll get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm just gonna go through it. All right,
All
here
right.
it is. Once a year, everyone dresses up as their favorite characters from film, comic, TV, or other media. People have small parties where they invite their friends. Kids dress up too. They go door to door to show off their costumes, and if people living there like them, then the kids get treats of some kind. Since no argument could be made that this is based on any religions or anything, then even the hardcore spiritual Christians can finally join in. And since Jesus is featured in many movies and TV shows, they can dress up as their superhero if they so choose.
God.
We hold it on the last weekend of October because it should be a little cooler by then and it doesn't interfere with any other holidays. Some people may still choose to call this Halloween, but they are wrong. Long live Cosplay Day.
Oh my God.
So you're basically saying you're rebranding Halloween. Is what you're
You want to bastardize Halloween? How dare you?
I don't know what you're talking
Think
about.
about this. Think about this. This is actually a really good idea because
No, leave Halloween alone.
no. Here's the problem with it though. Like, okay, for example, we get around it at my elementary campus by having, they call it dress up as your favorite superhero day. Basically exactly what Cyrus just said. Or dress up as your favorite book character. We did that one year or whatever.
Ah,
So
yes.
it's still allowing the kids to dress up, but kind of putting some limitations on it. You know, very loosely putting limitations on it. But you know, we're getting around the whole. Okay, well, it's Halloween. It's a pagan holiday. Blah blah blah. All that other stuff that goes. Actually, I'm 100% down with this. Let's just call it. Let's call a spade a spade. This is freaking National Cosplay Day. I like that, Cyrus.
Now, some people might still choose to refer to it in the antiquated term of Halloween, but
My God.
But that's their choice. That's their choice.
I'm down with this. I like this. That's actually because I've actually got a holiday on mine that I was thinking about kind of doing the same thing, kind of hijacking it and rebranding it. But we'll get to it in a minute. So, all right, Lainey, what's your first holiday?
All right. Well, mine aren't nearly as cool as y'all's. Those were something special. But
What
my
are they?
first
What are they, Rachel?
stop it. My first one is oversearch something on WebMD Day.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this is
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Go on. Go on.
All right. So basically, you wake up on oversearch something on WebMD Day, and you pick some odd pain that you've been having or some weird skin thing that you notice, and you obsess over it. You make your way over to WebMD or just Google and just continuously search it over and over and over again, reading a bunch of articles until you find the one that has the explanation for it that like you like, and then you just read it over and over and over again.
Everyone does this.
Yes, and then you
Everyone.
post about it
Oh, I've got a headache.
on
I better
social
go.
media. Yep,
And you always
exactly. Then
come
you're
to the
gonna
same conclusion. You always come to the same conclusion. It's, well, I've either got a sinus infection or it's a tumor,
or I'm
and I don't know
dying.
which
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
I'm either infected with some kind of
I either have the zombie
Ebola. I've
virus,
got Ebola, or
no, it's what's
or I
that?
just ate some bad
I've
clams.
got fungus in my stomach, right? I've got way too much fungus in my stomach. That's one thing. And then there's I have a brain tumor, right? That's the other. I've got worms. I have some kind of
Mhm.
parasite. I've got a
There's
parasite.
a river monster in my small intestine. Oh
And if I
God! But
don't, and
yeah,
if I don't buy this version of this guy's pill that he's got that has the bacteria that fights it, then I
then
won't
I'm
be able to.
totally screwed.
Right.
let me tell you,
Well,
if anyone is listening to this show who works for either Johnson and Johnson or any kind of a insurance company, they're gonna like take this to their boss and be like, "Hey,
hell yeah,
I've
they
got
are.
an idea."
Boy, have I got $1 million idea for you.
Yeah,
That's
talk about an easy way to
Don't forget,
commercialize
visit
this
Women
one.
D tomorrow. It's National Women D Day. I can just see it. The promotions would be crazy.
Yep.
Oh God. Well,
Instead of
basically,
like,
the whole day is going to culminate in you going and finding, a list of quote unquote everyday items that you can find in your house, which naturally you don't have in your house. So you're going to take your list and you're going to go to 4 different grocery stores to try and find these at-home cures for whatever it is that you've got.
very nice.
Make sure you use kosher salt because normal salt won't do. Okay, well I gotta use kosher salt.
It's a true fact.
Oh man, I got so much of this damn apple cider vinegar. It's crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this damn apple cider vinegar.
Is there any way to buy less than 1.5 pounds of Epsom salt? Please, just tell
No.
me.
Yeah, you think they'd have like those big like tubs where you could just like go and like refill your bag or whatever at Whole Foods, but
Yeah, you would think.
haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, some people. That's the sad thing is, I'm sure there are people that are like, I celebrate that every day.
Yeah.
There's probably people listening to this who are like, that's not funny.
I probably celebrate it at least once a week, and I think that's why it's so close to my heart.
There you go. Oh man. Okay. My second holiday is this is the one where I was looking at. This is the one where I'm talking about hijacking another day.
Whoa,
So basically, this is National Content Creators Appreciation Day. May have to workshop the name a little bit, but National Content Creators Appreciation Day. Okay. So on this day, everyone is basically, you know how like a lot of people watch stuff on YouTube or they listen to podcasts or they, whatever it is, they read a blog,
All of the above.
whatever it might be. And a lot of times, and I'm very honest, I'm guilty of this as well. I don't always, I may like the video, but I don't always give it a thumbs up, or I may not always leave a comment. And sometimes you just don't have a chance to do it, or you forget, or you're busy doing other stuff. This is going to be a day we're going to set aside specifically for doing that. This is the day that you go, you know what? I've been listening to the show for years, I need to go to the iTunes account and I need to give them a 5-star rating, or I need to give them a good review or whatever. This is your day to take a moment and make sure these people know that they're appreciated.
You could
I
call
think
it like and subscribe day.
we could. That's actually not bad. Let's do that instead of National Content Creators Appreciation Day. We'll call it like and subscribe day. So the traditions, I think, since we want to be in a good mood to do this day, we want to be positive. Maybe we could do something. We could eat something that would, kind of give us a euphoric feeling. Sugar tends to do that, so I think we should eat a lot of candy and sweets. And since it's good, warm, heartfelt feelings, we're spreading positive vibes here. Red tends to be the color for love and positive feelings. So tell you what, why don't we just we'll wear red, we'll eat lots of candy, and how about we just do it on February 14th? Why don't we just do that?
Are you hijacking Valentine's Day?
Wait a minute. Something's fishy here.
Okay, so
I smell a rat.
Instead of focusing on, because let's be honest, we all have been looking at our Facebook feeds and we've been seeing those blowback comments of, oh well, guess it's just me and the cats for Valentine's Day again, blah blah blah.
That's called having a great Valentine's Day, okay?
And you know what? Some people, that's great. Some people look at it as a positive. Some people look at it as a negative. Here's what I'm thinking. Instead of focusing all that love or negative energy, let's just turn it into love and just share it with everybody. Just share it with everyone that is online. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. Just share the freaking love. Don't be yes. Is Valentine's Day a commercial holiday? Yep. So let's turn it into. Let's just change the commercial.
Well, look at you.
So there you go. Oh, and the other thought I had about this is, I'm sure if Google got behind this, I say just for that one day, they take the thumbs down feature off completely. Like you can
only be positive.
You can only thumbs up stuff on February 14th.
Oh my gosh! Like anti-internet troll day. I love it.
Oh, that would actually be another good way to comment. But yeah,
You're welcome. You found my calling.
Anti-internet troll day would involve going and tracking these people down, though. That would be.
Oh, like on the end
giving
of
him too much attention.
Bob Straight Back. Which, by the way, is still an epic scene. So, by the way, if we were to celebrate this, a good way to do that would be, I don't know, go to iTunes and give this show a 5-star review. Just saying. All right, so
it all comes back, doesn't it? It all
comes back. Yes, sir. All right, Cyrus, what's your next holiday?
Okay, now I only have. This is my last one.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, this one's called the Dude Day.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Eugene, you won't appreciate this.
I will.
Okay. Here's what is involved with the Dude Day. Everyone wears bathrobes all day long.
Oh yeah.
In the morning, you must visit the grocery store and buy a small container of half and half, but you must also pay with a check. In the afternoon, you go bowling with friends. In the evening, everyone will have a White Russian. Adults may choose to engage in coitus, but if they do, then they must not use protection in an attempt to conceive. If you receive oral sex, you must pay for it with $1,000 in cash. Women may also paint their toenails black. If you see someone in a wheelchair, you should address them as a gold bricker, but do not accost them. No one will play the Eagles music until this day is over unless you drive a cab. Instead, you're encouraged to listen to Creedence Clearwater Revival, especially if you also choose to engage in use of marijuana, though this is obviously optional.
What was your question about the Dude Day, Lainey?
Oh, I wanted to know if girls are encouraged to paint their toenails green.
I thought it was black.
No, it's green.
Is it green?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you?
Isn't it?
I thought it was black.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
I think it's black.
If we were the Atomic Geeks podcast, here's where I would say, if only there was a way we knew how to figure that out. And we would
I'm Googling it right now.
someone Googles it. That's literally
Hold
what they
on.
do. They'll go, if only there was a way we could figure this out, and then they literally cut to a little musical intro, and just and then come back and go, all right, well that we found that out.
No, I don't
Yeah, it's
remember.
green.
Oh, it is green? Okay.
It's green.
Green.
Well, I'm glad we have that resolved. So the
Thank God.
doomsday. Do you have a particular day in mind for this day?
No.
Do you get to
Just
pick
whatever.
out
It
a
should be
carpet that really ties the room together as well?
that that could be something that you give as a gift. A carpet. You give a rug.
But
You give a rug.
has to tie the room together.
I would hope so. Yes.
Well, then it would just be a carpet. I mean, that would just be weird.
Well, it's not a carpet. It's a rug. It's a
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
yeah. It's very important too.
My apologies. All right, Lainey. What's your second holiday?
So my second holiday is called Quarter Life Crisis Day,
Okay.
and it's like this holiday you could honestly make it like Hanukkah. Like it could last 8 nights. It really could, just depending on like how much you feel like celebrating that particular year. So it's a holiday that a lot of 20-somethings celebrate. So on the eve of Quarter Life Crisis Day, you wake up at around 3 a.m. sometime, some ungodly hour, and you just have a paralyzing fear that you're wasting your entire life and not fulfilling some unidentified need that you've got. And you start panicking and, having anxiety attacks and freaking out and racking your brain for what else was I supposed to do? Is this really how I want to live my life? And you start making a list of all of these like really poetic and meaningful authors who have been through a similar experience that you want to read, and you start sending out resumes to jobs out of state that you would never apply for in any other reason, and applying to things like grad school and yeah. So it can be, like I said, it can be a week-long thing if you want, but traditional food, it is a kind of a food-based holiday, so traditional foods are going to include munchie meals from Jack in the Box that you get around 3 a.m., around the time that you wake up in a cold sweat, and binge drinking, obviously, with your friends as a distraction throughout the week. So traditional garb includes wearing flannel and sweatpants and your slippers and not leaving the house all day.
It just sounds horrible.
It's awesome.
I see Walmart would definitely capitalize on this. Taco Bell and Jack in the Box would definitely capitalize on this. And then, of course, liquor stores would be all over this.
Pretty much. So it's like you have this crippling fear, and then you go, nah, screw it. I'm just going to watch Netflix all day.
So I'm just trying to imagine like the commercials where they're trying to sell you stuff for this holiday. They really want to. They're going to want to tap into all that like anxiety. Like these commercials are going to be like, have you started to worry about
they're going to sell
you
you a lot of self-help books.
Are you going nowhere? Do you feel like your mother
Are
was
you
right
truly
about
following the
everything?
path you're meant?
Are you worried that you'll be 50
Is your
years old and
dead-end
alone?
job making you happy?
Yeah. Have you thought about
What are you doing?
Have you thought about a pet that you had 10 years ago that died? Oh my God.
Pretty much.
Is there some mistake?
You enjoyed art when you were a kid, didn't you?
Is there some mistake you made at some point in your life that you've never been able to let go of, that you think may have led you to every other decision that you've made
Pretty much.
put you in this spot that you're in now? Oh my God.
Boom.
Yeah.
So quarter life crisis day or week, possibly.
Depends. It depends on how long. I celebrated Quarter Life Crisis Day for like a whole year last year, so it's fine. It's kind of a do whatever you want kind of a holiday.
Gotcha.
So if somebody's doing this and it's not on the holiday, Are you supposed to give them a hard time about it, or are you supposed to be like, "Oh, look, she's celebrating early"? Or I mean, what are you supposed to? I don't know.
If you're not in your 20s, you can definitely give somebody a hard time with it. If you are, I feel like you kind of you
Oh,
get
so
it.
like, yeah, if you're like 30 something or 40, and you start doing this, they're like, sorry, Gramps, you're too old for quarter life crisis day. Get over it.
Yeah,
Trying
it's
to.
like going out. That would be like going out and binge drinking on St. Patrick's Day as like a 60-year-old. Like, don't do that.
I understand. I understand. So it's also a way to. It's also like a young people thing. Then it's like something y'all can use to bond.
Kinda,
I guess.
kinda. Oh, and you start looking up apartments in cities that you have no intention of moving to. That's the other thing.
I've done that a lot.
It's a special
Actually.
bonus. Yeah. Well, congratulations, you're celebrating Quarter Life Crisis Day. Happy Quarter Life Crisis Day to you.
Well, I have certain aspects of quarter life crisis day also tie into newly divorced day, which was
There you go. Telling you.
there are some areas where these two circles meet. There's some
Exactly.
overlap.
They can get along like Christmas and Hanukkah. They'll kind of intertwine. It's fine. It's allowed. It's encouraged, actually.
So it's one of those things that literally, like, you have someone maybe in their 20s, and they're walking along, and they see someone in their 40s, and they say, happy quarter life crisis day, and the 40-year-old responds, Merry Newly Divorced Day or something like that, and
Yes.
so they can
Exactly.
coexist, and there's not going to be a whole thing of
And do so
the
happily.
yes,
Don't put the quarter
the
life in Quarter Life Crisis Day. Just
I see
everyone can.
exactly.
I see a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah,
potential. I see a lot of potential for hostility, like happy quarter life, and then punch to the face.
Yeah, pretty
like
much. You're young. You have nothing. Shut up. Yeah. The whole world is in front of you. Something like that.
Oh man.
I can dig it.
Okay.
It's not very fun, but yeah.
Well, you can make it fun. But if you were doing it with other people, like if you had a support group of other people going through the same thing, it would definitely be helpful.
I just see a lot of
that's the
problems.
point. It brings all the millennials together.
Like for instance, example, just say Eugene's like, "Hey, Si, aren't you getting ready to support Newly Divorced Day? Isn't that coming up? Aren't you happy?" And I'd punch him in the face. Or for you have a friend like Christy's like, "Hey, aren't you happy you're going to get to celebrate quarter life crisis day again? Isn't that great?" Punch to the face.
No,
that seems to be the way to
comment back with a sarcastic remark. So
Well, we only have so many of those, and then.
Oh, I've got plenty. It's fine. Got plenty.
Yeah, get all of that out before like and share day. Just please do that for me. Okay?
Yeah, this is where we get out all the negativity.
So this is
another thing you can do with Quarter Life Crisis Day is avoid heavy conversations with your family when they ask you what you're doing with your life.
So, what's your major?
Yeah, pretty much. So how's that degree working out for you?
Have you met anyone yet? Have you met anyone?
See, it all ties in together.
Maybe you just need to go out more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're just saying that. You're just saying that you'll meet somebody. You're just saying that now.
It's because you have such high standards.
Oh, the worst.
Okay, this is quickly evolving into an old group therapy.
It's just me and Cy complaining.
But see, this is actually a good holiday because this is exactly what y'all were talking about. These two holidays can coexist, and the people on these different tracks can actually get along. So there you go.
We're all
we both
drinking at
in
home
a bar.
alone on the internet. Yes.
There you go.
Mostly in a bar.
Lots of drinking. Alcohol
all is the drinking. All
the
the
focus
drinkings.
of this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here with my next holiday. I was actually, depending on who was going to be on this episode, I was actually going to lead with this holiday because I was afraid that said other people would jump in with their idea for this holiday. This holiday is based on something from my childhood, and it's something that I think everyone should get to experience.
Was this
Um,
porn
yes, this is
day?
bring porn to middle school day. No, this is this will be celebrated on the
Do that.
first Saturday in June every year. The first Saturday in June every year. The reason why it's the first Saturday in June is because most kids are either about out of school, it was their last week of school, or maybe they only have like one more week of school. So somewhere around there, it's right at the end of the school year. And henceforth, this first Saturday in June will now be known as Super Saturday. And for Super Saturday, you are going to relive the awesomeness of Saturday mornings by eating cereal, watching
Yes.
cartoons, and then at some point after you've decided you've watched enough you've watched enough cartoons and ate enough cereal, you're then going to go out and go do something. And this could include going to arcades, skating rinks, going to the movies. You've you've got to go out and go do something. We go ride bikes, but you're just going to relive these days. And the reason why I call it Super Saturday is, and going back to my original comment, when I was young, growing up here in Killeen, we had a putt putt that had Super Saturday every morning. And what it basically was every Saturday morning you could show up. It was from 10 to 2, and for $5, you got 40 tokens, a hot dog, a soda, and you could play unlimited miniature golf until 2 o'clock. And it was awesome. So we'd go out and we'd play several games of miniature golf. At lunchtime, we'd get our hot dog and our soda, and then we had 40 tokens to basically just blow on whatever games we wanted, and it was so much fun. But usually before leading up to going actually to Super Saturday, we did exactly what we always did. We stayed home and watched cartoons and ate cereal and got all sugared up before we went out and had an awesome Saturday. So, yeah, I want to bring that to the masses. So, I mean, of course, tons of people can get behind this. Anyone, who does any places that, have video games or have like activity places, they'd, of course, be behind this. All of the grocery stores would be all about the morning breakfast stuff. And then, of course, like, I'm thinking like Netflix, particular like Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that, could um, do special things where they're like, hey, we've got an 80 version of Super Saturday going on, and basically just tune on to this one sub channel or what this one playlist, and it would basically just go from one cartoon to another, reenacting like you're watching cartoons back from the 80s, the early 80s or 90s, or whatever time period you pick that they've got shows for. And you can just relive it, yourself, with your friends, with your kids, whatever. And so that would be Super Saturday.
It sounds
Question.
really. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you get the original cartoons with the playlist?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking so like
Okay, good.
if yeah, so like if you choose the 80s, you would get the original 80s versions if they've got them. If and of course like iTunes could kick in on this one too. But if you say, hey, I'm gonna do the 90s this year. This year's gonna be the 90s. So you'd pick a 90s playlist that has a bunch of cartoons that came on in the 90s, and then like I said, you eat your cereal, and then you head out. And because I mean, think about it, the cereal companies could even do like they could do throwback
Like
boxes. So
throwback,
one year
yeah.
they could do throwback boxes to the 80s, what the boxes look like in the 80s or on the 90s or whatever. So I mean, this definitely could be commercialized very heavily, which was kind of one of the things about the whole topic. But yeah, I think this would be a fun day. So
They could bring back Waffle Crisp finally
there you go.
for one day.
So, and even I mean, movie theaters could get into this. Though there's a chain that started here in Texas called the Alamo Drafthouse, and they actually will do something kind of like this. Every so often, they do these Saturday morning events where you show up, you pay I don't even know how much it is. It's not too much, but you're encouraged to show up in your pajamas. They have a cereal bar. It's literally like just all these different cereals, and you go get cereal in a bowl, and you go sit down in a theater, and you can go theater hopping and watch cartoons from the like one theater may have cartoons from the 80s, one has from the 90s, whatever. So I mean, they've started doing something like this. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't go widespread with it. So,
I like
any
that.
thoughts?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
That's the point. Basically, let's have some more fun. Because I mean, think about it. A lot of holidays are, let's face it, especially holidays we're expected to plan some kind of event, going back to Thanksgiving or something like that. Depending on where you are in your life, at some point it kind of falls on you. Used to be, be your parents, your grandparents, or whatever, and then it falls on you, and then you start getting stressed out. You're like, oh crap, I gotta plan this day and cook this big meal, and we gotta, do all this. None of that. This is literally like, we're going to sit down in your pajamas, so don't worry about getting dressed up or anything like that. We're going to eat freaking cereal, so it's not like it's, if you want to do Eggos or something like that, that's cool. But, I mean, like, that's the most amount of food prep. We're not talking about, like, a Thanksgiving meal. And then we're going to go out and have fun. This is the anti-Thanksgiving prep, basically, is what it boils down to. So, yeah. So that's
I like
Super
it.
Saturday. Sai, you said you didn't have any, you just had the 2 days, right?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Lainey, you got another day?
I do. I didn't. I'll be honest. I wish that this was solely my idea, but it wasn't. But I wanted to kind of put it out there as a holiday that should definitely actually exist.
Okay.
And that would be February 13th, which is Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So anybody that watches Parks and Recreation has heard of it.
Yes.
Basically, it's Valentine's Day for you and your girlfriends, and it's really awesome. My best friend Molly and I celebrate it because she's the world's greatest. So, but yeah, basically it's just ladies celebrating ladies. You hang out with your girlfriends, you go get brunch, you eat waffles, you drink mimosas, and you just buy each other super thoughtful, wonderful gifts, and basically sit around and talk about how amazing and inspiring everybody is and how lucky we all are to chill together and have each other as like,
right?
Yes, uteruses before deuteruses.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, just spreading that female love, like, we I mean, girls got to stick together. So, but yeah, I wish that was a bigger holiday than it is.
Here's the thing. Part of the problem with whenever Sai initially proposed this idea, that was one of the first things that I thought of. I was like, okay, well, and my first thought was, what is the holiday from Seinfeld?
It's Festivus.
Festivus.
Festivus
is
for the
actually,
rest of us.
yes, people have actually started celebrating Festivus, and I mean,
my father celebrates Festivus.
It was totally, invented for this TV show, and I thought, I wonder if there are any TV shows where they've created a holiday that I think would be awesome to actually do. And I racked my brain for a little while, and I couldn't think of one. And Valentine's Day is perfect because if it's all of that criteria, I would love to actually see this become a thing. Number one, because Parks and Rec was such an awesome TV show. But yeah, I would love to see this actually get done. This would be awesome.
Like, I've seen a sprinkling of it. I've seen a couple of like cards and everything, but it should be like a real thing. Like places like IHOP or like fancy like brunch places or whatever could run like Valentine's Day specials where you come in with a group of girls and you get like, half off like pictures of mimosas or something like that. Like there's a lot that they could do with this. So, you can buy chocolates, but buy them for your girlfriends. Things like that. Girls will spend all kinds of money on like their other girlfriends.
Yeah. The other holiday I would think of, it's because you specifically brought up, and it's not necessarily a holiday, but I don't know if they actually named the day specifically, but would be treat yourself. That would be awesome.
Yep. Treat yourself.
And now Sai's looking at us like, I have no idea what the hell y'all are talking about.
Poor Sai.
Cyrus?
Huh? What? Huh? What?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yes, no, absolutely. I have seen several people posting Valentine's Day, and yeah, I'd like to see more of that. So, all right. So my fourth day that I came up with is actually, here you go, Si. This will get you back in the conversation. I'm calling it 8 and 16-bit day. We're going to honor some of the best 8 and 16-bit video games on that day. I say we celebrate it on um, August 16th, 8/16. In other words, traditions. We're going to play old video games. You're going to quote old video games. You're going to make video game sound effects whenever you do stuff. So, I don't know. I'm a big kid. I just am. So
Duh.
whenever I used to I worked at a high school, and I mean it was a pretty good sized high school, and so whenever I thought someone would be like, hey, I need you to come look at a computer or whatever, and it was across campus or whatever, um, I thought of like, let's see, well, I can walk the halls or I can cut through here, and of course that's a warp zone, and I never failed, at least in my head. I didn't always do it out loud, but in my head, as I opened and went through those doors, it was always like something like whoop 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 whoop, like a warp zone or something, and I think we should do that. Everyone should do that at least for one day, is to honor those 8 and 16-bit games that built a lot of character for a lot of us.
Okay.
So,
All right.
All right. Yeah.
do you not do that? Do you not ever, okay, like here's another example.
I have a
The
thing.
old.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say those. The old school like elongated cameras, like security cameras that you still see, like usually on the outside of buildings, not really on the inside of buildings anymore, but on the outside of buildings. I immediately go into GoldenEye mode and think about, okay, I gotta shoot that and then keep moving. So
Oh my God.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sometimes at work when I get done with something, I'll do that "ding-ding-ding," or whatever,
There
like.
you go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Usually when I get something new, I'll do that. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Or if you have a particularly you accomplish something particularly well, it's dun 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 dun.
I'll be on a forklift at work, and I'll be like, ding, 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 ding.
Because you're invincible. That's scary.
Nah.
Oh man. All right. Well, if no one has any other days, I've got one more day. This one is going to be, this one's key toward a particular company. A lot of other companies are going to be able to jump in on the bandwagon with this one. Recently, Netflix has announced that they opened markets in, it was like 80 some other countries. They are pretty much everywhere now. So I thought, kind of like how Amazon tried to, you remember last year they tried doing Amazon Day, and it was during the summer, and it was supposed to be,
Oh, I remember that.
a bunch of really awesome sales, and it turned out to be the sales were on crap that no one really wanted. I think Netflix needs to just, step up to the bar and say, hey, look, we're going to declare International Netflix Day. And on that day, they should basically just say, look, if you already have a plan, maybe they, bump you up to the next plan or whatever for one day or whatever. But they basically just say, hey, look, we're going to give everyone a free day of access so that everyone can see exactly what's on Netflix.
Are there still people that aren't on Netflix? Is that a thing?
There is a thing, yes. There are people who are not on Netflix. It's kind of odd. But we could either do it April 14th or we can do it August 29th. And I'll explain. August 29th is actually the day that Netflix went public. It was their, basically when the company was founded. April 14th. I'll explain that in just a second. Anyway, traditions for International Netflix Day are going to include, of course, watching Netflix all day, but that also includes, like eating pizza, snacks, wearing pajamas. So I'm thinking, like, Walmart would get on board with this, or whatever company that sells, like, pajamas. They're going to be like, oh, hey, look, get your pajamas, for Netflix Day, and then of course, Pizza Hut, Domino's, and everyone who delivers will basically be on board with this, doing special deals for, pizza delivery, or, whatever different types of food deliveries.
Chinese takeout.
Exactly. Everyone can jump on board with this. Now,
I
if
know.
you're
I
if
know
you're
a
in the
company.
dating scene, or if you have children, and after the children go to bed, it becomes International Netflix and Chill Day.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Oh
you were going.
God.
There you go. And then
Sponsored by a Trojan.
exactly, and then Amazon, or like AdamandEve.com can get in on this one and be like, hey, don't forget to stock up for International Amazon and Chill Day. So
Jesus.
hills to the yeah.
Oh my God.
You know this is an awesome day.
I know.
It sounds
Oh,
like it'd be
Netflix and
awesome.
chill.
What did you say, Si?
Uh, it sounds like it would be awesome for most people.
Oh God. Still international, but even if it was just International Netflix Day, like, if I were like, okay, hey, you know what? I really should be working on this other stuff, but I'm celebrating the day. I think that would be just enough to kick in my brain to go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna plow through Jessica Jones. I still haven't started and watched that show yet.
Oh, you mean
I was
the
gonna
sequel?
say.
Really.
I think we need to rewind the tape on that one.
Anyway,
Hey,
so
hey, you know what? You know what? That's, you do your thing. That's fine. It's your holiday. Whatever you want.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, if you want to
You know what
plow
I'm saying?
through Jessica Jones, you can do that.
There are shows
Plow through
that
it.
on Netflix that I have not watched yet, and it's literally like, well, I guess I could sit down and watch an episode, but I really need to get this other stuff done. And I honestly think if I had a day that I could just say, no, I'm being goofy, I'm being part of the, I'm doing the thing that everyone's doing, ha ha, whatever, and just be like, all right, no, seriously, I'm gonna sit down and watch, freaking watch this entire series. Yeah, I think that would be awesome to have. So, which is why I said April 14th, because of course February 14th is Valentine's Day. At least it is right now. That is until we officially change it to like and subscribe day. Everyone knows what March 14th is, don't you?
Steak and BJ Day.
Steak and BJ Day. So basically,
Yep.
you've got Valentine's Day on the 14th of February. You've got Steak and BJ Day on March 14th.
March
So
14th.
the following month in April, on April 14th, that would be Netflix and Chill Day. I'm just trying to spread the love. Let's just keep it going, people.
Let's do it. Let's just have a dirty holiday every month.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Alrighty, so there we go. I think if no one has any other days they want to throw out there, are there any days from? I mean, you already brought up the Galentine's Day from Parks and Rec.
I got an idea for a day.
All right, what you
no.
got for us, Sarge?
I don't know what you call it. How about?
God.
Well, it's not. It's nothing like that. It's called. I guess you would say switch shift day, and it's a day where people that work first shift work night shift, and people that work day shift or night shift work day shift, just to see what the other people go through.
You could totally sell that to Walt Disney World employees. I'm just saying.
It just seems like, I think that would probably help everybody understand each other better,
I agree.
Honestly, I mean, switch. I can't even say it.
Switch
shift day. That's not a bad name. That's kind of catchy. It's kind of hard to say. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. But I mean, you could even package it. It's not just simply shifting. Switching shifts, you could basically say, hey, look, you're gonna switch jobs for today. Just a little bit of that whole undercover boss action going on there. So I mean, because I've always been one who said, look, I think everyone in the world should have to work retail at least once, just so that you understand. Because anytime I see someone giving people hate that works in retail, work in retail or fast food or something like that, it's like you obviously have either A, never worked this job, or B, completely forgotten that you did work this job and realized how much it sucks. So,
Well, let me tell you,
yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea.
what made me think about it was last week there was a day where I was at work, and I got to work, and I got in at 2:30 in the afternoon. Of course, I'm going to be there till 4 or 5 in the morning. But I got there at 2:30 in the afternoon, and I got a phone call from some person that I have to deal with. And she was asking me a bunch of questions, and I was like, hey, I just got here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. She's like, oh, that must be nice. You get to sleep in. And it occurred to me, it occurred to me, she has no idea anything about what I do, and I think that if people switch, another thing is people always like to blame the other crew. There's another crew that works opposite you a lot of times for a lot of different types of businesses and things like that. So I think it would go a long ways towards building some kind of team, if people could understand each other better.
I totally agree. Totally.
I like it. It's like Freaky Friday, but with jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a bad day. Because, you're right. Most people have. I've never had to work third shift, but I've definitely worked first and second shift. And you're right. It's totally different. Because you come into the morning crew and you're like, what the hell did the evening crew do? They didn't do this, they didn't do that, whatever. And then the evening crew come in there like, well, what the hell did the morning shift do? They didn't do this, they didn't do that. I've seen it done both ways. So yeah, it's like on one hand, yeah, you may not have to deal with customers or people so much on one shift or the other, but on the other one you're like, okay, well, yeah, I don't have to deal with as many customers as you do, but I'm the one that has to get all the stock out that said customers and stuff are here to do. And if I'm
we don't need to go into all that right here,
yeah.
but yeah, everybody bring out all their baggage and start throwing shit on the table here.
Well, I'm just saying, I was just giving
nobody wants to hear me go into my life of hell. So
oh no, you're absolutely right, no one wants to hear this.
There we go, let's move on.
Alrighty then. Well, I guess that's it. I think we came up with some pretty good holidays. Some of these, honestly, of the holidays that I proposed, Super Saturday is something I would actually like to try to implement with my boys. I would like to do, what the problem is, of course, we're getting to the age that they're almost to the point where we can start doing like a movie night with them or whatever, or in a couple more years doing like a board game night. And those are the types of things I would really like to do. Maybe not necessarily every week, but maybe every other week. And this is something that I'd like to do maybe once a month. Be like, all right, maybe the first Saturday every month we're going to call it Super Saturday, and we're going to specifically say that's the morning we're going to get up and watch cartoons and eat cereal, and then we'll go do something. Maybe we'll go bowling, or we'll go to the zoo, or we can go. Unfortunately, there's no more miniature golf around here, but we could drive down to Austin and go to one of their big miniature golf, places, or something. Just do something that would be fun. So that's one of the days that I propose. That's the one that I really like to do. So I guess let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go.
All right. What you got for your pick or pan?
All right, so I have a pick, and it's a new song that came out last Friday.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the Lumineers. I think that they're like the head and the heart for people that don't know who the head and the heart is. They're just kind of cheap songwriting and whatever. But they put out a new song. I guess they're coming out with another album, and it's called Ophelia. And it's actually pretty good. It's simple, but it's got better songwriting, a really good piano hook in there, nice catchy chorus. So, and I've been listening to it on repeat for the last week. So, if I like it, then it must be kind of decent. So, but yeah, so that would be my pick.
Well, there you go. Cyrus, do you want to jump in here? Or?
Well, I just finally got around to seeing Jurassic World, and I thought it was amazing. So I recommend that if you haven't seen it
Oh my
already.
God, you are so late.
Hey, words hurt.
Good.
I posted this on Facebook. Eugene's response was, "Duh."
Yeah, no shit.
Sorry, dude. I had to, man. But no, I'm glad you saw it.
I don't know why
You
it took
know,
me so long to see it. I just finally saw it. Yeah.
dude, life. It's called life. Life happens, and sometimes you don't always get to see awesome shit when it immediately comes out.
I
So,
mean, as soon as it came out, I saw it like 3 times in theaters.
well,
So.
yeah, I saw it 3 times in the theater too. But I'm just saying.
Wow. Jeez.
I'm just saying
I
that
was ready for
there's
some
that possibility.
raptors, okay?
I was ready for a good Jurassic Park movie. So, and when I immediately started hearing people say, "Man, it's as good as the first one," I thought, well, that's all. That's pretty heavy praise. Granted, the last two really weren't that good, but that's still pretty good praise because I mean, the first one I
Honestly,
still love to this
honestly, I
day.
would have
But
watched it sooner had I thought it was as good as it is. Like I actually was like, you know what I was thinking? I was like, I remembered that third one, and I was like,
hmm
it's gonna be around that same level of quality, and I'm like, I'll get to it. Like I wasn't like in a hurry. You know what I mean? I was
hmm
like, And then when I saw it for rent on the Apple TV, I was like, okay, I've got a day off. Let me watch it. I've heard everybody say it was really good, so I'll watch. And I was like, holy crap! Like, it's like, wow, this is really good. It got better and better, and the end was like phenomenal. And I was like, holy crap!
yeah.
I gotta
So
watch
okay,
more
so let me
movies.
ask you this: watching it the first time, I caught a few of the throwbacks to the
Oh
original, particularly
man.
the original, but to the other movies. Um, if you watch it again, make sure you're just like paying super attention because there are tons of like Malcolm's book shows up like 3 or 4 times
Really?
in the
Huh.
movie. Yes, it
Hmm.
does. It's sitting on the desk at one point. Like the guy who's going on talking about how the guy who worked in the control room was talking about how the original park was awesome and this is kind of BS. He's got it on his shelf when they're on the monorail, going through
There's
the
people
two
reading
boys
it
on
on
the
the
monorail.
monorail.
Yeah, they're like the women either in front or behind them are reading it. Yeah, there's just lots of little things like that. Like you can go back and watch the movie at least once or twice and notice little things. You're like, oh wow, yeah, that's cool. They threw that in there. So, yeah, I loved it. It was great. I loved that movie. So,
It was so
my
good.
pick for this. I actually had last night. I played a new board game, and that would be my pick this week. But I'm gonna save that for next week. Um, my pick for this week is I'm very far. I'm really far behind on watching TV. I'm like at least like 2 seasons now behind on Doctor Who. I'm still a season behind on Game of Thrones. I I have not watched Jessica Jones. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It just keeps piling up. But a couple of weeks ago, I thought, and part of the problem is because most of this stuff is like an hour long. It's an hour is kind of a long time of time, a long period of time to cut out to be able to stop and do everything and watch. Half an hour is a lot easier to do that with. And I just had a little extra time, and I was going through Hulu, and I noticed that the show that came on that I've heard a lot about, and I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. It's only a half hour long. It's an animated show. It's a cartoon. It's on Adult Swim, and it's called Rick and Morty. And the third season is currently playing on Adult Swim, and I I plowed through the first season on Hulu. Was like, all right, where do I get the second season? I have to watch the second season. It was like, okay, well, you can watch it for free on their website, and literally spent the time to watch it on their website. And oh my god, Rick and Morty is the twisted, just mentally depraved version of, you could say Doctor Who, but I've heard people say no, it's a little bit more like Back to the Future, and it's right because they're
Hmm.
older guy, younger kid. Um, yeah, if you don't really like Adult Swim cartoons, if you don't like that's a lot of that type of humor, you're not gonna enjoy the show. But if you want a super well thought out, very in depth, it calls back to itself constantly. Super deep world building show. Rick and Morty is the damn. I cannot. Oh, I love this show. I cannot wait to see what they end up doing with it for the third season. Part of the reason I know why I love it so much is it is co-created by Dan Harmon, and he is the creative genius behind one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and that's Community. If you loved how Community was so self-referential and so like in its own headspace about how it was referencing TV shows and movies and stuff, you are going to love Rick and Morty. So good. So that's my definite pick for the week.
I had a friend that got me into Rick and Morty, and I wanted to hate it so bad because I'm not really into like Adult Swim or any of that kind of humor. But God, it's so funny.
It's so funny.
Like, it pisses me off that it's so
chance,
funny.
It would crack you up, man. Some of the episodes are just like,
oh, God.
what? Yeah, it's a really funny show.
My daughter watches that show. I guess I should watch it a little bit.
Give it 2 or 3. You know what? Maybe I should go back and see if I can find a couple of episodes in particular that I think you would find fine. Because some of them are a little more hit or miss, but some of them are just like, they basically call out, hey, this is the episode where we're doing The Purge, and this is our take on what we think The Purge would be like. And it's funny. Like, it's not only is it funny, it's all it's actually it makes you think about it. But yeah, some of the ideology that they've come up with is just like, what? It's out there. So that's
another idea for another day. Binge and Purge Day.
Oh God.
Binge and Purge Day. That would be awesome.
So is that where you watch a ton of Netflix and eat a lot of junk food and then throw up?
Yeah.
There it is.
That's it. That's all. That's all description.
As Netflix and chill day, but okay. Well, going back to one of my original ideas about the like and subscribe day, it's the 14th currently of February. Why don't we go ahead and start that? And you can do that by liking and subscribing our show. If you haven't already, please go to iTunes or Stitch or wherever it is you listen to this wonderful program. Give us 5 stars. There is a place to write a review. Don't bother with that. No one reads that. Instead, come up with your own holiday, your own commercial geek holiday that you would like to see people start celebrating. Make sure you put in any traditions. Do you eat foods for this? Do you wear certain clothing? What is it you do to celebrate this? So,
National Colostomy Day. That goes along with Binge and Purge Day.
There you go. If you have any opening questions you'd like to send to us, make sure they're in the form of either or questions, because we don't want to have a meltdown like we had that first episode. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
You can send that to us on our Twitter feed or our Facebook feed. Speaking of that, where can we find you on the internet, Cyrus?
Well, you can find me on YouTube. Just look up Cyrus Martin or look up Video Game Virus, which is also videogamevirus.com. And I do a bunch of video game videos, and occasionally I get into arguments with children.
And it's very amusing. Lainey, where can we find you on the internet?
You could find me on Twitter and Instagram. It's a Lainey Bird, all one word. So on both, so check me out.
And you can find me at Optimachine. That's pretty much anywhere you go. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, if you want to follow my random ramblings or whatever else, the projects that I'm working on. And I'm about to start working on some more projects. I released a video kind of going through the building process of the Thomas and Percy costumes that I created for my boys, and I'm about to start working on videos for the Proton Pack that I created, and then the new proton packs I'm going to be working for my boys, and then of course for Lainey as we start building it. So make sure you check those out.
I had an idea I'd want to suggest for a project for you.
Okay, what's that?
Build an arcade cabinet and finish it, and then take a bunch of videos.
And give it to my brother?
No, just break it all down. After you're done, just break it all back down.
take it down in front of his house and just literally destroy it with an axe, right?
Yep. While he watches and cries.
Basically, it's the equivalent of those videos, like, when the new iPhone comes out and they take the iPhone, like, they go in, they record someone buying an iPhone, they walk out and immediately, like, throw it down on the floor, on the ground and, like, stomp on it. Basically, it's that type of video. So
What I was thinking was you build the whole thing, you do it all up, you get out the sander and you paint it and you do the whole thing, make it a real nice cabinet, take videos, do all this stuff. And then you do a video of the breakdown where you just break it all back down, back into its original components and everything. And then like in casual conversation one day, when you wait until Rudy's talking about his arcade cabinet, and you go, "Oh, Rudy, by the way, I did a video a while back where I built an arcade cabinet, finished the whole thing, and then I broke it back down. You should check that out sometime." And just like move on to the next thing in the conversation. Just
just a passing thought.
Yeah. Oh, you still haven't finished yours? Huh. That's weird. Well, you can watch my video. It might help,
Oh, well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that does it for this episode. Hopefully, we should have another episode next week. Hopefully, I think we've got a special guest lined up, and it should be a fun show. We're going to be talking about food. So, for everyone on Epically Geeky, have a good night.